army of XRP. The time has come for you all to pay attention since it is official. It is official that XRP has surpassed the value of the US dollar, and this was done on purpose. All right, XRP. The global community is beginning to become aware of the United States dollar, and Bitcoin and a number of other cryptocurrencies are quickly becoming a preferred alternative to fiat currency. It is unusable. It is a system that does not serve the people. Rather, it serves the government, which has the authority to actually print that currency, leading to a decrease in its value, and of course, causing your money to just vanish. Having said that, I have a number of news updates and other really important things that I believe you guys ought to be aware of that I will discuss in the video that I have prepared for today. Note that nothing I say in this video is intended to be taken as financial advice. The disclaimer can be found further down. Now that we have that out of the way, let's talk about it. All right? The first matter that I would like to bring to your attention is the national debt that has been declared by the United States of America. I really need to drive home the point that this is a highly crucial and important subject. When it comes to debt, what they talk about and what is truly the debt are two completely distinct numbers, statistics that are dramatically different from one another overall. There is the $36 trillion that they publish, and then there is the $161 trillion that is the truth. Both of these figures must be considered. $914,000 is the amount that each taxpayer is responsible for paying toward the existing debt. I am bringing this up because, to put it another way, continuing down this path is utterly unsustainable. This is the reason why I am talking about it with you. Moreover, this is precisely the reason why individuals are transitioning away from the fiat system and into the cryptocurrency infrastructure. People have come to the realization that the government possesses the potential to print and spend, and that, in all honesty, there is not much that the regular taxpayer can actually do to stop the government from doing so. Because it is a two-party system, both parties spend excessively, and to tell you the truth, this is a problem. Now, there are a variety of different headwinds and tailwinds that are going to be hitting the markets here in the short term. These are going to be affecting the markets. To my surprise, XRP has already made some progress in the direction I anticipated it would go. In spite of the fact that I believe it still has some more room to fall, I do have some really positive news in that area as well, which we will discuss in a very little while if you are interested. First things first, let's talk about the real bits of information that have recently been spread around the media. Xbot Secker. Let's this very moment. Donald Trump has announced that he will impose a tax of 30% on digital funds. It is not just the European Union and Mexico that are spreading the love. He is also listening to the other countries. In addition to that, the following is a list of everyone who has been subjected to tariffs. European Union 30 and Canada 35 are both visible to you. On the other hand, there is South Africa. There are a great number of other countries on this list as well, including South Korea, Kazakhstan, the Philippines, and more, right? How come these tariffs are being implemented? However, what the market is essentially assuming is that Trump is once again using these tariffs as a negotiation tactic to achieve a better deal. But you can see right here in Brazil with the 50% duties. Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't heard a response from Trump on this yet. Isn't it true that there are some fairly serious statistics in this? The entire world is watching right now, because the last couple of times that we've had tariffs imposed on this scale, there are no small little numbers, and they definitely demand our complete attention. There are no small little numbers. As a matter of fact, it was quite destructive to the markets. However, now that people are beginning to believe that they have everything figured out, markets are no longer going to react to this. Due to the fact that there is one particular truth, I don't feel completely convinced just yet. When you align the technical indications, which were with what is happening right now on a geopolitical scale, it does appear quite negative. And it is a concern for me, in the near term anyway, for a little bit of correction to happen in order for the price to continue down. On the other hand, I don't believe that the correction is going to be quite as difficult as there are a lot of individuals that believe that it is going to be, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. In light of all of this, Michael Saylor is also talking a lot about the flawed system of the United States dollar, which is known as the fiat system, and I believe you are aware of this occurrence. This is a fairly significant point that he brings up in this video, and I believe that it is more applicable to XRP than it is to Bitcoin. I will explain why I think this is the case in a moment. The only thing I want to do is play this video, and then we are going to get into some of the specifics of what I believe is going to happen with XRP based on everything that I have discussed. As I indicated in the introduction, your existing holdings are currently worth approximately $10 billion. Let's talk about those holdings. There are a lot of individuals who would want to see a return of that kind, and you have paper profits of perhaps 70% or so. Do you ever consider selling something? When is the appropriate time to take profits from that location? It is well known that I have stated that I will continue to purchase the top forever. This is the escape strategy. And Bitcoin market At the moment, we are seeing the fact that Bitcoin has recently become an asset class worth $1 trillion. And it is in the same company as well-known brands such as Apple, Google, and Microsoft. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is an asset class, which is what differentiates it from the Magnificent Seven. In no way is it a business. Within the framework of those businesses' capital structures, there is not sufficient space to accommodate $10 trillion or $100 trillion worth of capital. Therefore, Bitcoin is competing with gold, which is currently worth 10 times as much as it is right now. In this context, it is competing with the S&P index. In the realm of value storage, it is competing with real estate, which is an asset class worth more than $100 trillion. It is correct, and so is XRP correct? It is important for me to make this point abundantly clear that not all of these cryptocurrencies are the same. The majority of them, however, are a store of value, and in addition to that, they are, of course, a functional currency that serves the people in a more effective manner. Do you agree that it is a cryptocurrency? It is a superior alternative to the fiat currency that we currently use, which originates from the United States and is the most widely used currency in the world. Based on every single criterion, it is far superior. The capabilities of the money, the purposes for which it can be used, the fact that it cannot be printed, and the decentralized mechanisms that enable the users to really administer it are all important considerations. All of these things are extremely important for the future of these blockchains and the amount of money that is contained within them. According to what Michael Saylor was describing in this context, it is its own asset class. In this manner, XRP is identical to Bitcoin in every respect. From my perspective, it simply possesses a greater amount of usefulness, a greater number of use cases, a greater number of applications in the real world, in my opinion, is an extremely significant piece of the puzzle. First things first, before we get into the specific price action of XRP, I want to discuss a little bit more about the tariffs. This is because there are two possible outcomes that we may see here. I believe that the Kubosi letter offers a perspective that is quite distinctive in this regard, and I intend to discuss it because I believe that it is deserving of some attention. We can see that they are predicting that this statement will have a somewhat calming effect on the market on Monday. In point of fact, according to them, the market in the end might actually end up closing in the green. Why do we make this statement? It is abundantly evident that President Trump is employing this strategy solely for the sake of negotiating, and there is a slim possibility that these tariffs will persist. On top of this viewpoint, a spokeswoman for TH